that we have three parts on the map that lead into two. So in theory, we've never seen a map where you can actually split. Like maybe this map should be called split, because this is the actual map where potentially you can split more than other maps. So the fact there is no duelist could actually work. It just means they can't do the normal like B hit, right? It means it's all about mid control. It's all about taking A early and then mid control. They got to take one if not two of the areas in terms of early A, top mid or market.
But double controller is also pretty decent for trying to play a little slower.
Okay, G2 on defense, KRU on attack. Like we said, KRU has no duelist, but they do also, worst case scenario, have an Omen that can TP through. G2 playing more traditional, both double controller though. Man. G2 going to continue up with their pistol streak? Looks like it.
Mid is compromised. Two players will fall. Another fight to be taken. Bit of a dink there. Damage being done. So Melsa, we still claims that kill. And that's, oh my god, saving his teammate's life there. Out towards the
Pistol
side.
Gods 3-0.
G2.
Wow. Yeah, that was a fast one. I mean, just from the very first pick, where I barely saw a KRU member peek their head into market, and it got ripped off. That was an extremely simple dismantling, but I don't think it really told us too much about the compositions just there. Just that G2 have really nice, quick responses to B splits. One of the important things to think about
for KRU is
the net just through.
The problem for KRU is this is probably the comp that would reckon no duelist the most. Double controller and a Cypher. It is hard, but yeah, like I said, there's three places that they need to focus on for all of this.
I think it's going to be a bit of a bother for KRU. And you can see here it's already allowing G2 to stack 3A.
Risky. Players tucked up into elbow. KRU just seeking to get the orcs online.
It's a tough defensive Viper wall to get through as well from Trent. Hard to get through either side of the A split.
Yeah, the cool thing about this wall as well is it looks like it has a little gap here that if you need to dodge some Uto, you can.
Players got the crossfire set up, going to features close to the corner. Any attempt there, a lot of players meeting them head on. He has some cheese, not enough really with the range to try and break that one, pushing forwards. Shy. Side that smoke as well, but he's just going to be spotted out entirely. Clean round from G2.
Yeah, keeping all of that weaponry online, aside from Jonah P.
Okay, not bad. One gun, one armor rebuy. G2 should be happy with that. Leaf pretty close to an ult. I say pretty close, three away.
Is going to be massive on the defense side. It's also interesting, even just to think about the roles a little bit on KRU. Shy, we're seeing playing Viper here, rather than either of the two initiators. There's something to think about with KRU, maybe expanding their playbook and the flexibility a little bit of where they want these people to play.
KRU are definitely trying some.
Of course, Shy is filling in the sentinel role for this team rather than an initiator like he has done in the past.
Okay. The amount of times the KRU are going to start off taking A control is it's going to be a lot. They gotta create double question mark potential that they can split over towards the site.
It's really quite tough to chew through.
I think KRU are going to have the most success if they manage to pick him off before he can even realize there's someone there, as you saw Kesney going for.
Ooh.
Shy lucky to be alive with that one. And they're even playing the Sentinel with the trip here as well to get info. Oh my goodness.
Up to his lurks. Same kind of thing he was doing on Icebox.
Yep.
So all the Omen smokes used for a little bit. Damn, lovely shot.
What a flick and adjustment trade.
Yeah, maybe we could argue that he should probably put his TP here if he wanted to duel this. I think that's probably the addition I would make there.
And opens up A for the rest of his team. You're going to have all the same issues that you did on the previous map. Jonah calls for reinforcements. Valen in his spot.
Jiggle. The angle. What a cheeky way to do it.
D2 literally have.
Maybe could have got away with that as well
if I knew the KRU comp beforehand, I would probably hand pick this exact comp to play against it.
Valen was slow on that.
That's the issue.
Catch onto MTA, and that's why Jonah P died. So now a 3v3.
Maybe we would need a flash, but
here comes Net. Wow. The Bulldog, he wins it. Those are brought down. 2 players still anchored, tucked to the side as MTA and Klaus.
Okay, crew need a hero play.
Do have
Who's
those
it going to
rifles,
be?
but
They
it's a
actually
really
have
difficult
okay
one to try and win.
positions.
Time
Well, that's a
being taken,
savage
nade
nade.
towards the back. Klaus still
Say a savage
standing
nade.
around and hold the
Literally
space here.
one.
They think this is cleared. Over the top though.
Oh, head.
Spotting it out actually with that satchel all the way. MTA's close in their face. They don't have a clue. And it followed up and turned it into a 1v2. Net here still. It's got the rifle, but so much to do.
MTA.
And MTA,
Kids.
a 4K
It's good.
in this round. This guy might be
Love
a
that he
newcomer
went
to
to help
this
his
stage.
teammate out here.
What
Klaus
about
did
nose
incredibly
circling
well
around
to
this
stay
guy, but
alive,
he has
didn't
stepped
overreact
up
to the nade at all.
massively so far.
And
It's been
G2 should
amazing.
still be
And the
happy with
KO
how
on
this
both
round went.
maps, filling in the flex role. What an
Massive
addition.
round coming up.
I think
There's
it's
so
fair
many
to
people that
say
can't buy
that
next.
expectations were not massively high for him. He's somewhat of an unknown player coming up to the tier 1 level. But he's fit into this squad and added a lot of firepower. And his timing is
1,
really
2,
strong
3,
too.
4. Yeah, okay.
We've
It's
seen
easier
some
to just
people
say
get
2
nervous in
people
their
can
first
buy and
game.
crew next. That's it.
Even in this season, actually.
Instant
But
omen
he has
flash.
just stepped up
TP out
instantly.
from crew.
Still forced down.
Yeah, a bit of a skirmish there, over towards the A side. Good
This is the
response
first time with
from
G2.
Valve,
Have a good
keeping them
adaptation
back.
here, just wanting to push over towards A heavy. 3 people to do all of this. And G2,
Wrong
crew
spot,
again
duration
need
running
to
out.
kind of force their way into one of these areas.
The
And
order
it
the
feels
one
like
way
A
really does
is
just
probably
prevent
the
anybody
easiest
from
just because
swinging.
of where the barriers are.
Again, same playbook the crew are really operating on through Icebox, making the most of the time, the clock really wearing this one down, seeing what they can get done with these low timings. Melter can TP past this one, just walks up and breaks it though. Nade from Leaf, he's expecting
Maybe
a
something
split.
that I would
There are
want to see
players
from
into mid. They lost
G2, but
control of that a
again,
little
they
bit earlier, but
probably don't
no
want to do it
commitment.
too much with
I
the
think breaking
Cypher.
that
We
trip
maybe see
earlier
if
in
a
the
Cypher
round
goes over
would have had
towards A.
massive
Is
consequences,
when they
but
lose mid, I
with
think
only
the
45
G2 could
seconds,
definitely
Crew
take over
do
towards
now
B
have a
main
little
and
bit of time
reaction.
pressure
But again, with
to
the
finish
Cypher here, probably
one
not
of
going to be
these
happening.
sides.
It's too risky for a
Just
Cypher to do it.
walked
I don't like to see it if the
missed it
Cypher went A.
The jiggle timing here, all the way close to the corner, he can really just do so much work for the rest of his team. No one's watching this. Crouched to the box.
30 seconds
It's
left.
Kisnet clearly spots the gun, spots the gun, and there's one kill. There is the
Oh
second.
man.
His timings are absurd.
Yeah, he's
Absolutely
he's
ridiculous. 20
actually
seconds
everywhere.
left into the corner. They
4
are dropping
people all
over the
go
place.
down.
G2, no chance now for the round, and he knows it.
If you think about a map where Kesnet dominates, right? You just picture average Kesnet domination. Most people
Yeah,
picture
and
him
this is the
running at
big.
people, stomping
This
them,
is the
winning
big buy
angels.
rounds where they
Actually, this
cannot
match, most of what he's been doing
buy
is
afterwards.
finding perfect lurk timing.
It's a
On
huge.
Jet and now
Couldn't have a
Chamber.
better round really for crew. We
Weaving
survived
his
with
way
1 on
through
1
the
HP. We've got a
defenses.
rebuy and
That's
armor.
unbelievable.
That is
He's
about it.
demonstrating extremely high game IQ. I can't believe the timing he found there.
They're hunting out his last gun. No players really surrounding him, so Net should be safe.
And a lot of the space that was gathered for Kesnet is off the back of Melzer breaking that trip on B. And it pulled back the defenders on A. Because crew are spread around the map. And G2 can't really get a feel for where they are. The information game is certainly being...
Oh man, it was close. There's a guy next to him at the end here.
there's
Okay,
a
so they get
silver lining,
one
but not
saved
much.
hero gun.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the information game. You know, when I say about crew playing slow in these rounds and making the most of the time that they've got available to them, you still need to be doing stuff in the round. Still need to be breaking a lot of that preset utility, the passive map control that G2 have.
Yeah, 1 HP, the observer's highlighting there.
Wow.
Okay, and I like this change up from G2. It is just an eco though.
G2 are going to have to start
It's just
getting
an eco,
more
but I do think
proactive,
that yeah,
in
G2
re-clearing
maybe
on
benefit from
defense
taking B main
in
control,
order
but
to just get an idea for where crew are. And if they can catch
I think the call's
the
good here.
players who are playing to contain,
Stuff like this is going to work loads
Maybe they
because
can even
most
get
likely
picked up.
when they go want to head over towards these sites, especially if we think over towards B,
difficult
I reckon
focus
there's only going to be one
with
B
how
main, so
slow and quiet
probably like a
crew are around the
1-3-1
map. You might
majority of
just
the
run
time,
into
so
the
they can
stack
just overwhelm the
from
one,
some
and then
defensive
once they get over
area.
towards B, they don't have much map control.
That
So
spots
this
it.
is good from
Good
G2 at
players,
the
they
moment,
know it's
even though it
compromised.
is just an eco.
It's only up to Trent here with a sheriff in hand.
Now
And they're
crew
going
where the
pushing.
Single rifle is.
They are going pushing.
They're walking themselves all the way into mid. Leafs on the flank himself, right behind them, but he doesn't have a gun to try and take that fight long range. And it's just crew ripping them to shreds into the top section of mid. Shy.
What a
is watching
nightmare.
for it because it was all comp.
As if they get nothing for this.
That was just a second player there.
Okay, well, I say
Valid.
nothing, we get a kill instantly.
Straight through with a stinger.
I think it's a consolation prize, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be really difficult for Net to commit to this. He's only got 450 credits because he rebought armor and he didn't get the loss bonus. So KRU again demonstrating that they're finding the holes. There were 2 people watching mid, and yet they smoked it off, quietly walked in. The contact play and the fact that there's so many of them grouped up is finding every gap. And the G2 players can't get their one
G2
back around the corner.
are getting annihilated in the buy v buys. If we continue over from Icebox,
coming in with kind of an extension of what their style
they need
was
like
during
4
LCQ.
pistol rounds in
I'd agree with that.
It bears
in a
mentioning,
game.
Again, that KRU did not go into champs and dominate, right? They had that run at LCQ, but they weren't actually able to convert it into any success at Champions. They didn't convert it into any success in the off-season. But now they're coming into the games that matter in 2024. And they're looking great, like they didn't skip a beat from the end of LCQ.
Yeah.
What do I want G2 to change? I literally want them to do this round that they just did with guns, without the push all the way through.
Enemy remaining.
And I think they're lacking so much
I want to see Cypher A on the buy round. Amped esports kind of sounds sick, to be fair.
The thing is, both of those ultimates actually require a bit of information about where KRU are in order to use them properly, right? They're good at stopping a big exec, or good at stopping a plant from going down. But if KRU are just quietly walking around the map and then they burst onto you, it's really difficult to find good timings for those defensive ults. That's part of the puzzle here for G2 to solve.
Honestly, an off wouldn't go with this, I think.
Yeah, if only Okay, let's see. The change up from G2. We see the Cypher over towards A. I think this is good. And then, yeah, we're fighting over towards B main. Very good adjustment from them. I like this a lot. KRU deciding to just play far back. How do KRU now handle this?
Where's this one going? Probably landing into market, I have to guess.
Because we can put one pass in here and then heavy rotate.
And that market knife not catching onto anybody. Trent dodges it. It's so
passive, right?
So quiet. Impossible to tell that KRU have 4 players in mid.
This is a repeat of the previous round.
But now they have the
camera. This is a nice camera, though.
Bodies watching.
Double info.
Surely they hear the footsteps as well. Net! Backs away, Hunter's Fury. This feels very, very improv. Just an attempt to punish all that space.
There is a guy in spawn. There is a guy who has dodged the Sova ult and he is in spawn. Kesnet is everywhere.
Nightfall scatters it into the back here, but no connections onto Trent, and Trent has a hard time of it, but does maintain his composure. Still paranoia into his face, and he's got players all about him. Valen.
But they have A main control, so I mean B main control, right? They're kind of fine. Oh my goodness. Oh boy.
Leaf's taken away. MTA dropped to his knees, but still going to be granted that information to them because Valen is the last one left. They know exactly where he is. The face, the timing.
Oh man, it was one of those. It was one of those weird situations where
the timing is so brutal. He's
so
watching the left side of pillar for a long time, waiting for an attacker to peek, and then he thinks,
it's one of those things where he wants to help out his teammate, but honestly. Maybe his teammate should have just joined him in B main once they lost the kill over towards middle. And then Leaf didn't want to look like he was baiting his teammate and holding over towards B main. So he decided to swing, and then obviously he was holding his left, wanted to then ult the right once he heard numbers. It was a little bit unlucky, but they were on a different page in my book there. I would actually prefer Leaf to just bait him there. I think he's got the winning pause. Got map control with a person controlling the middle as well.
I mean, just finding those gaps.
He's not even trying to play inside his rendezvous, is he?
No.
It's not like he's trying to play it as a, I'll get one and get out.
Yeah, that's how you. I think that's how you got to play it into this comp.
Yeah, it's a hard lurker. So now Trent anchoring with the help of these 2 trap wires.
But look at them, they're just walking.
Mine's real low on
G2.
G2.
Walk up to this trip, Spotted out, hear it, break it, Prowler into the back. Trent is in a lot of trouble. Now look at that, Prowler in his face on top of it, they're running him down. Didn't stand the chance, man.
And then they just send it.
Absolutely brutal. It's
Then
like
they
Crew
just
playing
send
with
it
wall
through the
hacks on.
Viper
They know
smoke.
exactly what the setup looks like. Dismantling it with perfection, not using any utility when there's no threat. And this is a team with an immaculate read on what's going on around the map.
So forced by G2. Don't have any money. Next. Dodgy weapons.
Who needs a duelist? I mean, this. Let's think of the maps. Like this and Icebox are the two maps where you can have the best chance of getting away with a no duelist.
Again, it's not like Crew are using tons of utility and stomping their way into A, making it obvious that they're ending on that side of the map.
Yeah.
G2 only realized that it's a heavy commitment once the trap's been broken and a paranoia is already in the face of Trent. By that point,
I like Crew. They try some crazy stuff. They were the guys that they were the guys that did Chamber, Killjoy, and Haven.
They have an unusual composition.
They like a Chamber
on the desk.
for sure.
And they've already got map 1 under their belt.
Yeah.
This is looking excellent so far.
Set up for a slam dunk at this point, 5-2.
Net's just getting spammed off mini-map there.
Hello, Emmy, by the way.
Got to make changes. Got to make changes. G2 with a timeout. Now,
Don't like the Cypher without a breach.
Timeout after 7 rounds.
Yeah.
And that shows you
Yeah,
how lost
breach.
G2 are at the moment.
But then I guess I think they wanted a Prowler, because then they would have a comp. They didn't have a
Now, they don't
Prowler
have the economy
or anything
for it.
to like
They pick up the
clear.
op, they
Yeah,
can try and punish
weird.
somebody's lurk timings as well.
I agree with you
Hold down
though.
One of the avenues on the map
Cypher
without really,
with a breach on
needing
this
utility.
is
The question
kinda
is,
hand in
as
hand.
well, Brent, where are they going to opt?
Second
Because
timeout?
over
Oh
towards
man,
A,
yeah,
there's
they're
gonna be a
struggling,
lot
bro.
of Smoke's utility in
That
that
is
phase, right? It's gonna
that
be
is
really
the whole. But I
difficult
actually
against
think this
Viper
is good. Like if we
still.
actually
The Viper
like if we
smoke
actually
and
look at this and we
Smoke's to be
take away
able
the
to
take away the
get lines,
pistol,
unless they
like
play
they're 5-0
really
down.
deep.
It could easily be 7-0.
Suppose
So
you could try to
the actual
op
buy
the
rounds are
main
going
a little,
horrendously,
the Viper wall.
and they need to try and do something. And I guess now they're probably just gonna fight middle.
Yeah.
You can allow an op to get in there, maybe mid as well. I mean, mid is where they are really getting exploited. Market player of an op.
That would be
I
the
think
most
if G2
obvious thing that they
wanted to
now
play
try.
extremely aggressively, trying to fight for mid control towards the beginning of the round would be useful, but a little dangerous and a little difficult with their composition. Desperate times, though, are going to call for some desperate adjustments.
Okay, just a low buy, so we maybe don't
See what
see
the
the
goal is
actual
here.
adjustment until the next round.
Deep play, dart.
Fade
Back on
eye.
two.
It's a nice fade eye from here.
Look, I mean,
The Viper Orb, though,
Yeah.
I mean, it stops them from being able to play up any sort of aggression. They are close to it, though. A lot of players.
This is good
tucked
from
to the
G2
corner.
as
Jonah
well,
P's
just
playing
holding
anti-flash,
over
just starting to
towards
set that
A.
up. Leaf just taking a fight straight to them. Jonah P still, they want to hold their ground down. And will they find any value from it? The paranoia was perfect from Melza. Pushes those players all the way back out of it, but it's still a 3 versus 3. ADS 2, Jonah P. 3-4.
Okay. Pretty much a
Beyond
must-win
3
round.
ace.
The issue for G2 is there's guns down, and I mean, they can't get them. Klaus picks up the orb to get his Fatal, which suggests he wants to use it into this
The usual
one.
line of scrimmage would be. And Ned's coming around behind.
Disrespect. Is how to aim.
One of you have your gun out.
Smoke sent flying.
Your Sentinel's
Inside
dead.
the mid.
You got to remember, though, the weaponry is still so low. Jonah's been able to pick up 3 with the Guardian, but can he manage to gain additional kills? Do they feel confident enough to go for the weaponry that's dropped? If the plant goes down on B, you would imagine
30 seconds
so.
left.
30 seconds. Yeah, they don't know if they're just cutting noise out towards A here. Holding for the ground.
Cover going.
Fade,
Deep dart, surely at this point. as soon as
fade
the trap-
ult.
yeah.
They're gonna get a
Surely
plant.
starting
We've
to
got
grab at least one
fade
of the
ult,
guns. It's Net.
Tether.
Plan here gives them info. Note that both of them are on
10
B,
seconds
so the players can start rushing
Spike
into the
planted.
site to try and take this one. But still, it's just a sheriff. Knife 4. Our connection. Trent can grab any of those audio cues in a backside position. This game
Only-
is a great call by
Oh,
Crew.
hit 2.
In the moment here, they're doubled up. It is
Wait, hit all.
some semblance of awareness. Jonah P. still there.
Damn.
There it is. It is found
Another
right
ace.
when they needed it.
If that's what it takes, though.
Yeah, that is the issue, isn't it? If that is what it takes. I like this idea though, fighting over towards A. Again, we gotta hold heavy onto some of these positions.
That's the call from Josh in the tactical timeout.
Just go
Jonah,
ace.
buy a Guardian and ace them.
How much is it per PC? How many aces have we got now? Is this the third one? I got power.
Yeah.
Marketing guy is sweating. Sweating.
No, boss, I promise it was a good idea.
It was a good idea.
I'll get you a gun here.
Okay, so now G2 with rifles in hand. What lessons did they learn from that? What was the thing that contributed to the win? I think it was
Fighting A
playing
heavy.
pretty aggressive. Now it's hard against these Viper smokes, but you got to try and get set up before KRU have taken a bunch of map control. I mean, look at it though. G2 getting pushed back behind the Viper orb from Shy. Leaf's kind of stuck in this corner. They're using the drone to get back up on an aggressive
Yeah,
angle.
they
But KRU have already
were
left.
using a lot of util to set this one person up. Good news is they set one person, well, two people up now, but they still kept on to the Omen flash.
Just an off-angle approach from Trent to try and hold it. Same smoke all the way through. Prowler connecting. Trent's got so much to do here as the lone player. They're going to be walking right into him.
Savage.
Rips away two.
Yeah, that's major. Massive player advantage here now.
Yeah, and I think this makes a lot of sense because if you look at the 3 points that they have to take,
again is KRU not afraid of
this one is like the longest choke point, so trying to funnel them into that makes the most sense. If you're KRU, you probably prioritize
Some of this utility. They don't have
top mid if you can't get over towards A though.
Also almost adjust for the second, but the trade online for net. They do have that market control now for KRU. Moving forwards, one player remaining. It's all up to Kesnet. Paranoia not dodge. He's finding himself all over the place. Door is closed. Spike up, smoke drop down. Got himself in, but it looks so unlikely, and yeah. Leaf with the backstab.
So 2 rounds in a row now for G2. The only ones that they've been able to get on board while KRU had rifles. And that time, it's just Trent being able to defend this. Punishing that contact play with an offhand.
That's honestly fair.
But the fact that KRU are allowed so much access to mid without using too much util at all. The first Prowler used for mid control while they were already up basically to the top.
But I don't think G2 want to fight mid because it's like,
yeah, they really are.
if they have no duelists, you don't really want to give them duels over towards middle anyway.
Oh god, the Prowlers! It's point them directly to Trent, and now that pit is no longer a pesky problem.
And it's not like Trent had any support there in B main, just trying to get it down on his own.
Yeah, it's true.
But he picked the exact wrong round to do it. I don't think KRU have been playing B main heavy at the start of these rounds at all. And yet this was the moment that they decided to go for it. A read perhaps on where Trent was going to put that pit? Or just good luck for KRU. Either way, they'll take it. It's a 5v4.
You get the opening, they force
Get
the
the C9 wall coming out.
A fast play explosive off of it. But they just cut noise again.
This would be a great round to end A.
Wait, did C9 use this fast or did EDG use this fast? Imi, did you take this from EDG or did you use it fast?
Klaus is trying to make it look like throwing his Prowlers, trying to get Leaf off the line, and he's pulling Valen and Jonah P towards A as the rest of KRU are ready to walk out B.
The B wall.
Unbelievable, because KRU really aren't using that much util in the
B
first
Viper
place.
wall attack.
Paranoia in through the corner.
Because you guys love it, I just can't remember if you were the first to use it or if it was EDG.
That's a connection, but he wasn't expecting Melter. Another TP to disengage. Klaus up through mid. Instant trade by Leaf. Good reaction.
I think you were the first. Yeah, I think you might have been the first.
Plan finally getting down. 2 versus 3 though with the pit. Really difficult.
They're going to need some spam kills here, Brent. And they're going to allow the pit to go down,
Oh
actually.
my goodness.
Decay damage.
Friendly fire.
Dropping down. Clearing all of it, and yeah, you're right, the pit goes down, but interesting smoke from Melzer. Shot down,
Oi.
kills. There, last player notified. Shy. He's got so much more to do. 150 health. Dart towards the back. It's a double face. G2.
Hey, I mean, nicely done from G2 there. 3 in a row.
Insane shock from Jonah P. Once the Viper
Probably
went down,
gonna
they
see a timeout
realized
from
they
KRU,
were
you would
everybody in
imagine.
B-main,
Yeah.
And the shock was like a homing missile. That's a bit of a slip from KRU. Should have had that one, I think, in the bag. Especially after picking up Trent so early on and denying that. And then taking down the side tanker. This is now going to make it a much more competitive game.
God, was he like perfectly
The
70
score is
HP for the
5-5.
shot?
I'm not sure it feels like it. KRU have been very dominant up until these final few rounds, where G2 have started to wake up again.
KRU contacts a lot. I mean, they kind of have to. Because the problem is if you do like an exec and you let them know, you got nothing to dash through any kind of util that's there.
Fast
So it is a lot of contact.
Very different. what they're usually doing. Still with these trips, getting rid of the cam potentially up there, but it's not. Trip down to the floor. They can jump over this. Not choosing to do so.
Yeah, that's decent information, actually, later on for Kesnit to potentially abuse. Look at the call here. They're going to try and make pressure around the rest of the map, and then I think Kesnit is going to go for the jump over that trip. Genuinely, he's mad. I believe it.
There's a cam in the corner. Put a trademark there to try and clear it. Leaf holding close. He's got a showstopper to do so. One of the luxuries that you've got. Lovely flash from MTA. And Leaf, you can't see a thing.
This though is looking like a better round from KRU. They managed to actually create the double question mark over towards A, something they haven't been able to do in these prior rounds. Well, I say prior rounds like the last 3 rounds. Kesnit is...
He's really thinking about it, okay.
He went to break it.
And he has his... Dude, KRU love this thing where they don't really use Kesnit as like a sentinel at all. He uses it to like clear angles. He uses the trip like an initiator, I guess, to get info. Not saying it's bad, I like it, but I think if you watch some demos, you could flank a lot. They did the same thing on Haven. 10 seconds to plant here. No one's in the position to rush in. That's a huge duel. Blast has to send it.
1 HP with the decay kicking in. Leaf still there. Beautiful.
Nicely done.
Precise with the shots.
G2 hold on. That one was close. Same kind of idea again from KRU. Walking all the way up to the Viper wall for free and then using utility through it. That time though, Leaf and Valen doubled up, able to pick off at least
Jonah 14 to 5, Leaf 11 to 6.
For the rest of their squad.
And then everyone else is pretty low down, I think.
Kesnit only went 1 for 1 on his lurk. I mean, if you can keep Kesnit to only going 1 for 1, that is genuinely a win condition for G2.
On here.
What a comeback. Very reminiscent of Icebox, but the other way around. G2 themselves having to come up with the adaptation in the first half. In the second quarter, now double offing. You were talking about that being a potential solution.
Great way to stop these contact plays.
Hey, Jonah P's shock darts have been pretty on point.
Main control, knife. To the corner, it's dodged. Another prowler there. The trips nowhere to be found. Flash from MTA in through the back here, trying to take the fights to him. Valen needs to stay alive. He's got to buy time for the rest of the team. Util in his hands.
This is a very bold call from KRU, but they actually managed to get through the choke point.
Kesnit was almost going down to the raise nade there from Leaf. He's so weak, taking an aggressive position.
Jump spot almost punished. Laying down a second molly, a smoke now to follow. Trent using it, pushing the positions. The players are low here. Melter's watching the smoke. Where's the trade? It's there from Nep.
Nicely done. I like this run from KRU. Like on paper it shouldn't work, but they're kind of conditioning them. Right, we had 11 rounds where they never straight sight hit from one position because they can't, because they have no duelists. And then they kind of realized that honestly maybe it would work, and they're just playing heavier into like these positions that I was talking about. Right, these 3. So I think the call here, I like it, especially with the wall, gives them some cover. Maybe they got a little bit lucky that Cypher wasn't here, but...
And this no duelist composition seems like it has a ton of threats on defense as well.
Well, it does. Anyone's game so far as well. Potential continuation.
Is 6 enough? I mean, they should have a very strong defense comp, but I tell you what, I can't pinpoint Sunset sometimes. I still haven't got a good read on it, because... Just watch too many maps where I just see like 11 1/2s no matter what side people are on. I don't really know, and especially without playing like practices or being part of a team, I don't have enough I don't have enough data.
Started to see KRU bounce back, then G2 bounce back. We're tied up 6-6.
Yeah, I mean, like on Icebox, we saw that KRU kind of understood and adapted the way that G2 was playing, and I feel like this was just kind of a crossover where KRU started getting the hang of it and getting ahead.
But KRU probably just set up the chamber over towards A majority of the time here. And then that means that G2 probably need to play late, mid B defaults, and then push the chamber off once it's set up. Be the most common thing we'll see this half.
Later on, and we're not just letting KRU walk around the map. KRU, they have the shift key permabound. They will walk.
After seeing almost every American team, do you have any way too early predictions? Nah, other than I think we're gonna see an insane amount of close games, because
start comboing into
I don't even want to
shot
call
that
it,
to
man.
go with any
These
chamber
teams
utility that you might have. It's a lot
teams are good.
stronger on this side of the map. And for me, whereas Icebox with that Brim comp had a very set way to play, with this composition for G2, it's going to rely a lot more on the mid-rounding from Valen, which is where I think he really thrives as an IGL.
Yeah, for sure. And they have that double controller comp, so it's like when it goes into attack side, there is a little bit of lurking allowed, there is a little bit of freedom allowed. It is a little bit rough because it's like, you know, maybe not as much execution power, but we'll have to see how they do it.
G2 are in the big leagues. This is the pressure now to not lose their opening match and take it to a third.
Couldn't agree
Okay,
more
we'll
with
keep
that
an eye
one,
on the
Mimi. Let's
pistol.
send it back over to Brennan Sideshow.
Did I see this from Prius? Dude, I don't want to give Prius likes, man.
See how
Come
this
on.
one ends up shaking out.
Prius
Away
farms
with
too
the barriers
much.
dropping. A lot of players ready to meet with a bit of a skirmish. Melzer holding that paranoia on for the left side.
Okay,
Approach.
3-0 in terms of
Clearing, not
pistols.
seeing too much, but here's the refight as well. Fraudi smokes as anyone's
Where are
game.
we?
It's Klaus who's filling up the field.
Oh my god, where are we? There's so many smokes.
One player
Eight
standing instead on
people
the
dueling.
opposite side
They
of
might
the
just
map.
get their fast pistol here.
And it looked like Leaf could have been the difference maker there. He actually slipped into the
I should
Viper
watch it
wall
after?
without Crew
Okay.
knowing.
We'll give him a
He
view.
wasn't able to find too much value from it.
Fight into mid. Kesnet.
Remind me of the end of this map.
Crew win their first pistol round of the series so far. I think that's incredibly telling. The Crew have
Yeah,
kept
it
this
is
close
incredibly
and been
telling.
able to win map one without being able to lean on those pistol rounds. Their
3-1
gun round
for
play has been
pistols.
excellent. Yeah. That spells bad news ahead potentially for G2, unless they've got really good mid-rounding, as Mimi
Can
and Athena
coaches
were
talk
talking
during the
about on
halftime? Yeah.
on the couch.
Until the barrier goes down on pistol.
Throw me for a mix.
Yeah, GB's making a specific point about
I'm gonna blame the producer. I'm gonna throw a producer under there.
under the couch.
Under the couch.
So different Viper setups from both of these teams. Instead of a lurk B Viper setup on the attack, it's over towards A. And on defense, Shy looking to anchor B. And that allows Kesnet
Not
to play this
mid-round, though.
aggro setup. Here comes Shy.
Forward away through there. Yeah, Shy tucked close towards this one. Now it is an eco round, but with the plant, get some extra money here. I mean, even not even extra money, extra damage being done.
Yeah,
It's 3 versus 3.
He could have got
Somehow
an
in the
extra
middle of
one,
this
but
with the
Shy's been
plant
playing
down.
incredibly
Don't think
passive
somewhat
with a lot of.
But
He's
Shy
always been
still
playing
towards the back of
to
the
keep
side.
his
Along the
life,
rest of the team
basically.
here. Lovely nade from MTA. No more kills to be claimed there. Cleaning up the rest of these players beautifully. That's only got the classic.
Sorry, they can't.
Only got the classic. Not
No, they
enough to do,
can't.
but still.
Stop spreading false
Bit of danger
information.
towards it. They did some damage to the economy. And the plan
Who's the
online,
crew
G2,
coach?
Not the worst
Atom.
case scenario in the world for an eco round.
No, not the worst case. Not by any means. But you take a look at the way the Crew's got their defensive setups working. and
Guy the Leo Sentinels,
that looks like
he's
a
always
bit of a
just
tough
playing
nut
his
to
life.
crack.
He
They don't have
never
that Cypher
takes
trait,
any
right?
kind
So
of
that's
risk.
one of the things that is not an issue for G2 to deal with, but they have to get through the snake bites, the wall over
Okay.
towards B as well.
Okay.
And anytime they want to fight
Little
A, they're gonna be
bonus.
pushing into double initiator utility to set up
Slash.
Esnet
So yeah,
to take
like
early
we said,
fight.
this is kind of how we thought this was going to go in terms of trying to
Kesnet
set
might not
up
find
the
it as easy
Cypher
as all
over
that, though,
towards A,
because
especially
of
when we
the
have a
Viper
wall
wall
that in
space.
theory
These
blocks
fights
double
over towards A are
vision
gonna be
once you
very
set a chamber up even. The
Initiators
hold
or
one
controllers.
angle.
I mean, this is
It
awkward. I love the
is
idea.
pretty
You set him
strong.
to his back, you set him up onto this angle.
Pretty
but the
much.
wall goes down,
Just actually means that this wall does nothing.
isn't it? Free to play in this
So
spot.
mission success
Who's
in
gonna
terms
save
of
the
this.
range? Who's gonna be getting all
D2 we
that
said would
control,
most likely
passive
be
map
doing
control the entire
CB,
time, calling for
sorry,
his teams, but he is backing away
B
now.
mids
From that
defaults,
angle,
and
just
then
from
they
the
have
door
to go
being
back
broken
and
mid.
push this guy off. I like the G2 util at the moment though. We're using the wall and the smoke to just make sure that he can't really feel comfortable in this position to get info unless he puts his TP a little bit more
This game
aggro
plan
than
seems to be
maybe he does in
follow all sound
practice.
cues.
It worked for them on Icebox. It really did.
Anytime there's a semblance of noise being made this time. Pressure here. Trademark broken.
It is a
Lee's
fake,
faking
though.
like he's that. Yeah, okay. Satchel.
Yeah, I mean,
Where
look
the
at the
spike's going,
minimap.
I mean, this seems like a great read from what they learned. on
They've
Xbox about
annihilated
the way
them with
the
this
Crew likes to play their
rotate.
defenses.
Really, really good
Because
from
Crew were
G2 on
stacking
this.
4 people wherever G2 made noise. And this time, very first time that G2 have rifles on board,
30
they run a
seconds
fake. It's worked
Line
perfectly.
sinker, yeah. Exactly so. Gives them open access to it. Still 5 players remaining though for Crew on the retake, but they don't have the
A lot of
rifles
people B main.
necessarily. That is
Oh,
really
they might have
unfortunate
messed up
timing. I
here.
mean,
4
Leafs
people B
unaware of
main.
the fact that that was going to be fading. He goes down. He's given
With
them a
double
gun on
vision
top of
block?
it.
They don't have
down. They don't have post-plant.
util.
Everybody through main here. This is going to come down to spam with the guns and maybe a bit of util on top of it. Damage definitely being done. Players are low right now. Diffuse, tapped, trying to force out that first wave of this one, but MTA didn't expect it off to the side. Smoke's still up, really forcing them all to just go out into the open spamming, but nobody's been sticking this entire time. Mel's now diffusing. Half onto the board. Everybody lining up. Half onto it all the way.
Oh my goodness, it was close. I did not like how they played this one. 4 people offside. That was really scary. Okay, nicely done from KRU. I don't know why we didn't start sticking this a little bit earlier when the smoke was there. Maybe there's some util that I missed.
Very out in the open. Like you said,
Might have been that molly that we just saw.
This is
it's precarious. I mean, reminiscent of the Haven C long.
Yeah.
Looks like it was that Viper molly.
And I think had there been more of a follow-up on MTA's flash, that could have gotten even more deadly for G2 and could have easily slipped out of their fingers. But 1-0 so far in terms of Valen calling the mid rounds, because that fake.
I would love to see Kesnet call that this is wrecking him and that he should. Like, I would love to see him put his TP over towards here so that he can play in front of this smoke.
He's still in that spot. He's not being pushed away afterwards. Even playing in front of it.
Okay, he does play in front of it, but he's out of range of his TP now.
Slap down multiple times before he decides, all right, okay, I can't really get away with this. He's so confident.
So far forward there because he doesn't want the orb to be.
Chunky Noob, thank you so much for the prime. Appreciate you.
Face. Meanwhile, G2, rest of the squad.
I have retrieved the spike.
Towards B. Spike being sent over towards A. They're going to try and run another fake. It looks like it.
Thank you so much, man. Welcome in.
This time, Kesnet hasn't over-rotated.
There.
All 4 players, though. It really just comes down to Kesnet.
Yeah, and after the fake worked so well, they go for a heavier fake.
Pulls back the rendezvous, running away. So there's an open side over towards
Let's
A
keep
now.
an eye on the rotate. Four people on site.
A little bit more here. Kills to be found will be
Kesnet on his way there. Decides to let go of A.
His match there. Lots of players ready to find him. Kesnet not giving up all the space here, but there is a smoke again into his face. A bit of random spam. Lucky. Didn't get his head taken clean off. He's
a lunatic.
Them and shut down in the process.
That kill gives Trent his pit, so this now becomes even more difficult.
Nightfall all the way through here. Players were low enough with the decay damage kicking in. Excuse me, MTA. We catch that one onto net, but yeah, the pit didn't go down. Trails pointing towards them. Dart over the top. Broken. Jonah P. It is chaos in the mix here. But the trades are still good for KRU. Working away now into the back of this one. Only 2 players
Problem
remaining
is,
for G2.
Shy is the most patient person.
Remains up. He needs to stay alive. Good adjustment from Trent. Snaps to the side here. The players alive here with it planted for the pit as well. It's looking more than one for them.
Okay, yeah. And if I'm KRU here, I'm calling a timeout. They need to relax with the over-rotates, especially Kesnet.
2 rifle rounds,
He doesn't need to rotate on the Sentinel, holding down over towards here. He can be late.
Excellent maneuvering. I can't believe they sold a fake again and Kesnet moved off site.
Yeah.
This is almost a time where you want to be hitting the tactical timeout, but it's so clear that probably Atom doesn't need to get involved. I mean, the KRU players are not dumb. They realize that they've just been faked on twice. The question is how you adjust to that. And you can't fake every attacking round. No. But conditioning it a little bit is really helpful because now KRU are going to be
they can't. Yeah, I mean they can't make the agents that are meant to sit still.
And now I say that.
And then he gave him the kill to get the Viper ult as well. It's and it was on the round that forces you onto eco. Like it is costly mistakes.
Especially with Kesnet just pushing all the way forwards here into the back of the site. Leaf thinks second against it. Chunk down low as well, but util. Who do they want to plant this one? They have to try and fight for backside control. They will do so now.
Flash.
Pop flash. It's nice.
Hey, shout out. Was he anti? Jonah P was anti the whole time.
No armor for the KRU players. They just went down to a lot of blind.
Or at least jiggled it.
Spike planted.
Fake the rifle round.
Perfect round for G2. Loads of money here. 1 armor rebuy. And then we go into a big buy round. We got 2 ults.
What does
Man, that 1 round.
They have a large ult,
Not the one before, the one before that. That's so costly. Okay, timeout. Timeout comes in. And might be a short timeout. We're doing okay. All I would say to Kesnet is we're doing okay. First of all, you can put your TP over towards side so you can play in front of the smoke. And then just don't rotate.
Yeah, you've just seen
You're holding all A for one person. You're doing
I feel
God's
like the
work
team
out
should
there.
be able to
Just
manage that.
don't rotate. Stay
Or
still.
you think you saw something interesting in the eco round? Which I don't think there particularly is.
It's unlikely.
Unless Atom wants to run a specific strat, which is hard when you're on defense, but might want to call a certain defensive setup. There's an interesting
I
dynamic
can check
with
it on
the
my phone
ultimates
for you.
here
That's
as well,
about it.
Because Valen's got in his arsenal to work with Leaf's Showstopper. And he's also got a Hunter's Fury, but both can be cancelled by MTA's Null Command. So you can't just send it on a site if the KO's there. Because even if the knife doesn't hit you, you're going to get the Showstopper cancelled. So there's got to be some finessing around the map, figuring out where people are playing. There's more
Nah, not
thought
really.
to this than
Not
just
really, Frax. The problem
everybody
is that
got
they can
ults and
talk,
run
right?
aside.
So you can give them a way in.
And as mentioned, fakes in play. It's like he never left. We'll see what they do. I mean, Valen was making full usage of the timeout. Popping off.
Okay. Did he misunderstand
see.
the idea of the TP?
Yeah, that's the
Have
thing.
adjusted the setup. I mean, Kesnet's playing from elbow.
Or
now.
does
It's
that
a minor
mean
adjustment.
with this TP he can go in front of the
I feel
smoke?
like that timeout might have helped G2 more than it helped.
Potato feet with the prime. Thank you so much for the 9 months.
There, this time.
There's no way he can stand out towards in front of this smoke.
Top mid smoke. Two just walking their way through here.
MTA used his knife over towards A, so now they know there's no one marking.
Paranoia. Leaf can't see anything. It's a bit of a gamble though with the blind. Fire still. Melter brought down to his knees.
And look, MTA used his ult to try to cancel the Showstopper, but he was too far
He
away.
rotated again.
Great awareness from G2, and that's how they got the pick off the back.
Game market control, but they're just stunted for now, stopping in their tracks. B main control also. They could go for this B split, but it looks like a reclear from KRU. It's being called. They're just pushing all the way up here. Any util for it? No! The wall just goes down!
Oh,
And they are
that was
just
nice from
cut to
G2 though.
shreds.
Just holding
Absolutely
strong.
massacred. What a freeze in the round. These 3 rounds, the 3 rifle rounds from G2 have been masterclasses. Double fake, and then this one where they find out the positioning of the KO, instantly use the ultimate, and then call a freeze.
And their
that
money's
baits
out of
that
control.
reclear,
Look at
and they
this.
get
Look
the
how many
punish on
people
it.
survive again.
Awesome stuff.
The repeat.
The quality of play, even for teams that we're not expecting to be right at the top of Americas, is pretty impressive at the start of the year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
dead
not wrong.
impressed.
Especially considering, you know, if you think about it, at the beginning here, some of the teams should have the least practice that they'll have at
Yeah.
any point when you watch them this year.
But there's a lot of parity.
There is. It really feels like a lot of these matches could be going either way.
Hello, Kesnet. Hello. I mean, just not content with sitting in spawn and saving. Takes the fight to him.
Yeah.
Probably the percentage play, not gonna lie, but listen, it's Kesnet.
Yeah.
He's got a right
He
to
can't
he's
be
got his ult
bad.
for the next round. He's gonna force it up.
I mean, he can buy because he
Yeah,
can
that's
have his
a
ult
good
the
thing
next
to keep
round.
an eye on in this round,
And
'cause
I
it's gonna be another
think
eco
he's
from
given
KRU.
up with over towards
Kesnet
A.
could get dangerous. The
Means
thing
that
with
maybe he's
Kesnet
just gonna
having
go
the
aggro
hero rifle
towards
is
B,
that you
potentially
probably just
middle here.
don't want to have him posted A doing nothing. You probably
Is that
wanna
worth
have him
compared to
being
saving?
mobile
Nah, not really,
around the
but
map. So I wouldn't be
The good
surprised
news
to
is
see
he
his
gets
position
kills
change.
that he can buy into this, and then he can have ult next
He might
round.
just end
So
up stuck there though as well.
it's not like doing damage to this economy changes anything.
Some extremely impressive attack side calling has led G2 to have the lead so far.
Fast again. The paranoia. Nobody playing off of it though. Melter. Wasn't caught with the dart actually. Still close to the corner. That's Shy.
G2 are playing this
Leaf
attack
doing
real
his
nice though,
Kesnet
to be fair to him.
impression.
It's just walked all the way into mid. He might be able to catch a kill. No, Kesnet gone in the opposite direction. Game of timing. Pop flash play. Repeat from MTA.
Another big play
Love
from the
to
rookie.
see that.
I mean,
Shy's
Leaf
still close
has
to the corner
kills
too.
here,
If this is
though.
a half clearance with Clash playing close. There's some real danger here. Real danger, but no, navigated safely. Treacherous waters, melts it in mid. Leaf! Oh my god. PP hopping all over the place.
And Kesnet's the last player left alive, wondering where it's gone so wrong. I think give
Okay.
him a lot of respect there.
Now we
Triple
see the
face on
big buy
different
rounds. What's
pieces of
going on?
elevation.
What's
G2
gonna go on here?
pulling out quite a lead right now.
Yeah, it's been a really good attack half from them. As much as KRU have, I mean, honestly played the rounds wrong with some of the rotates, but
Occurring.
It's a
still been
different
nice
style
from
though, right?
G2.
Because
Yeah.
it's not so
Dude,
much the push and pull.
he's
it's more to
gotta-
do with G2 actually
I
just,
can't believe he
being
hasn't
able to
worked
run
out.
some
They can just put his
excellent
TP
fakes
here to go in front of
and then
it.
good ult plays. But now another
Is
question.
he just
what's
too
gonna be
scared that he's
happening
just
here?
gonna get jumped on? It's too close.
G2 have been bossing it in the 4v5s as well.
Maybe.
Winning just under 50%. I mean, that's way more than you would expect after losing a player at the start of the round.
It's an insane stat, actually. In the 40s, you just don't expect that.
46% of their 4v5 so far.
Fast,
Whoa, there goes Leaf.
Straight in.
Kesnet's going to get more and more frustrated, though, because they are never going to his side.
Taken out, though. That's Klaus. Covering the top section of the smoke there with Leaf brought down. TP's close into it. They haven't cleared the back of the site here. Shy, he's still alive. Hitting.
Oh.
Valen with the plant.
Good news is the spike gets planted inside the ult. Yeah, so that's constant vision block.
And they're picking off the players all over the place. So G2.
I mean, how on earth are they going to win this? Jonah P has knife, but has ult, but he just got knifed, so they know that he's market. It's going to be an absolute spam fest. And Valen goes for the round the world and the doors down.
With all the smokes in play, Shy, he's safe to stick this one. Can get a half onto the defuse, but pushing up here. It's just Kesnet's time now to just stick it for his team. Trusting him, placing it. Valen can't do too much, and yet one round for KRU. Valen.
This is actually important.
Yeah, no, it actually completely wrecks their money. 3-2, 3-1, 3-6.
Mel's on 3,200, Shy's on 3,100.
Oh,
those kills
man.
towards the end are actually massive. It's a Pyrrhic victory for KRU. They can't afford to win like that often.
How did the Viper die?
I mean, the pit is such a cool idea, actually, coming out from Shy. If G2 don't want to push, pressuring backside, and he's able to get that off, it just makes the defuse so much easier. But now look at the economy difference in a round where KRU won. They can't afford to eco.
Choosing to invest into it. With Guardian's half armor. Bargain bin buys. Orb gained, Leaf up to another showstopper. Trips there, broken with the Prowler on top of it, so
My ult is ready.
beginning here for KRU, at least over towards the A section. Kesnet going to be just holding his ground as well. Will he get overzealous? Lots
Here
of
we
players
go.
ready to meet him now. You can feel it.
Kesnet might get caught in no man's. Oh, he does put his trip here early, but he's playing in front of it. He just took his TP away. And then he puts his trip down, and he goes aggro. He makes no sense, but he's just insane. He's just an insane aimer. But the util makes 0 sense.
Even fewer tools to work with.
I guess he baited them by putting it down. Would be his argument, but
they've given up A entirely. They're saying there's no way they go after that. Kesnet just got 2 taken away, gambling on the fact that they're going to be going back over to B now.
And the call is so correct.
Yeah, wonderful stuff by Melzer.
This round, if KRU can secure it, is going to fix their economy
30
woes
seconds
as well.
left.
25 seconds, G2. Cautious is the approach, making sure that they contact up, don't reveal anything. Was anyone spotted? Shy maybe, potentially? Now they're making noise though. Shy's going to be aware of this one, making a call. Doesn't expect the player though. Close. Down into the lower left, that's Jonah P still staying alive with the dart as well, playing a game of timing!
Weird.
Ships in the night, but Jonah P wins it.
Can't believe they're going to win this round.
Frying, and he still has market control.
There's no way that
The bad
Kesnet
weather
is
in there,
not
I think, is
tilted, by
really
the way.
hurting KRU. You can't spam into smokes
They
with
never
the
go
Guardian,
to his
you're gonna
site.
listen.
He loses some rounds when he over-rotates.
They're going to go a lot of util.
And then he gets 2 and they still lose.
So much to clear though. Cam there, a tap. And the timing for Jonah P works his way
Right.
behind. Hello.
Okay.
On the first one, quick tap, expecting a play from a different position here. Nets doing a wonderful job of just really bleeding down the clock.
I feel like we saw the same clip, just getting replayed 3 times in a row.
Up to 12.
Incredible play from Net. Really disciplined from Net and Valen towards the end. I seriously do think that those Guardians made a difference in those situations. When Jonah P's dancing around the smoke, I think with a rifle in hand, it's a much more even fight.
I mean, to be fair, the fake trip did get him the first kill.
And I said that if KRU won that round, their economy woes would likely be solved, assuming a few stayed alive and grabbed some upgrades. That's not the case at all. It's just gotten worse. G2 used both of their tack timeouts in the first 7 rounds. Now, KRU are using theirs.
Okay, 3 chances.
I think it might just be too
Bro,
little too
I
late
need
at
to,
this point.
dude. If they want to keep playing, if they want to keep playing the chamber over towards A,
Sheriff's on the board.
just put the trip,
Never
just
mind
put the
any kind of
TP
rifle.
side. Surely.
This is G2's. Signed, sealed, and delivered, I think.
Keep the
They're gonna
series
put him
going if you're
somewhere
on
else.
G2.
They're gonna put him
We're
on
talking
B.
about, I mean, earlier the ults online, Leaf and Jonah P again. Hunter's Fury, showstopper this time. No ult online for MTA, can't even stop it. You can cook up a game plan if you're G2. Try and go with a bit of pace here.
Still been really enjoying
You might
G2's
find
calling.
success just from the ults
As
alone.
much as
There's
there's been,
so
as much as it's been like
relies
a
on this
little
round
bit
right
frustrating,
here.
some of the stuff that Crew's
And they
doing.
do
Like
have a read
G2's
that
calling's
NBA
been good.
has usually been playing A to try to set up Kesnit.
Yeah, they've given up with A, man. The wall smoke completely owned them, and they had, dude, it's reminding me of like the FPX K-Corp game from Lock-In, where like they're getting wrecked by the util of the Viper, but they have the pieces there. They just can't work it out.
Footsteps in through B main.
At least they actually go to Kesnit here. Only gun.
This is too much to ask of Kesnit, surely.
Nah, I mean, he's kind of happy they're coming to him here. Only gun got his TP for this. Yeah, they take that. Take that as the win. They do lose sight though.
Off to the side here, but an open sight for them. Will they take back side control?
Ball pass and flank over towards the middle. They have a trip.
For G2 when they got into this B's position a little bit earlier. They do have the guns if they wanted to try and play a bit of a spam wars from main. Ults online over Klaus. Spamming. Pinged into the corner. Sleep onto 50 health. Over to the side now, Nightfall. Not connecting.
How many
Leaf
did he
as well.
get
Could
in?
do so much here. Jumping through. Any sort of trade in order. Not quite. Hunter's Fury on top of it. Gets the nade out. The rest of his team following up through. This is the map. Secured.
Okay, really good attack from G2. Really good. Yeah, Crew just couldn't work it out.
That's a banger of an
But
attack
really
side
good
called by
calling as
Valley.
well. Really nice
Pumped up.
calling.
Great response from G2 because there were so many dangerous moments there.
And so yeah, the only thing that happened with the double duelist here,